Hey, yo. It's been a minute, guys. I haven't made a Marvel Snap video since I played Havoc when Havoc was released. And if you guys follow me on my YouTube channel, I've been kind of losing a little bit of subscribers. I was at like 165, and then it gradually just got down to like 163. Like it'll go up for a bit, like I'll see that I got new subscribers, and then like I'll lose two more. And I've been trying to be positive about this game, right? But if you look at my videos, I've talked about the state of the meta numerous times. This is now my third video talking about the meta and the state of the meta and where it's at. I was gonna write, I had my notepad, but I ended up not writing shit because I was gonna try to sit back and be like, all right, let's talk about the state of the meta. Let's talk about, you know, some other things. But I really wanted to make decks for you guys, some really dope decks that are not meta. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've never been part of the meta person. If you know my history about fighting games and stuff like that, and the things I talked about in fighting games, I've always been the low tier hero, or the mid to low tier hero when it comes to certain characters. If a character's big and slow, I love that fucking character. You know, despite I'll take that back. Like Potemkin was actually pretty broke, like low key, but he was a mid tier character. If you guys play like Guilty Gear and stuff like that, I played Gigas in Tekken 7, so I played Gonryu. You know, Gonryu has the slowest jabs in the game. He's a sumo wrestler, so anybody that's like a sumo wrestler in a fighting game, I always pick. So I always tend to like the off meta, the non super fast characters like Steve Fox or the Steve Nina Bryan trio in Tekken 5 when that was prevalent. That was hell, to be honest with you. That was a hell meta, you know. So there's metas in fighting games and stuff like that, or the Leroy meta. Then eventually Lydia, whenever she first came out, until they nerfed both of them, or they had to be nerfed because they were just way too insane. I know people don't play fighting games like I do, because I play Tekken at a pretty decently like high level. I say I understand the game pretty well, and I beat a lot of people, but I also use ass characters, so that's just my thing, man. I'm a character loyalist. I always find I find a character that I like, and I stick with them 100% through and through. And I wish I could say the same about like certain decks when it comes to Marvel Snap. The latter has just been insanely unfun. And to like iterate, I think people have every right to complain. If they want to complain and you put money into this game and stuff like that, you can complain, dog. I'm tired of people being like, well, this is the counter for this and that, and this. I don't play that fucking deck. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, before like High Evolution came out, like I've said it over and over again, the few weeks before High Evo came out, that was when the meta was at its best. Like Discard was pretty decent, like Destroyer was at a good spot, like Thanos wasn't as prevalent, but it was still decent. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all these lockdown, you know, Galactus was actually not that bad to play against. It was a lot of decks and a lot of kind of a clean meta where it was like one deck wasn't just overpowered until High Evo came out. And then whenever High Evo came out, it was just like, oh shit, like this deck, it's cracked. It's really good. It's insane. Yeah, you had, you know, you could prevent the damage and all that shit with you know, Luke Cage, because at the time Luke Cage was a global effect. But now we're just in a really weird spot to where the developers are talking about, well, we don't want, you know, lockdown style decks to be prevalent, and then they go ahead and release Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Well, we don't want, now we want big boy power to be on board, but they nerfed the fuck out of Shuri and the Red Skull deck to where you can't play Shuri and then play, you know, Red Skull on a different lane. You have to play Shuri and you have to play that card on Shuri in order for that to work. We don't have that, like, but now we have Lockjaw and Scar being cheap to being able to be reduced. You know, She-Hulk, but She-Hulk's one of my favorite cards to be reduced in play. Like, and now we have Blob. We have big boy fucking Blob that is a mutant but can overpower a fucking cosmic being that's infinite, that you have to skip a turn. If you played a turn last turn, you can't play this. So you have to skip. You have to not play anything while the other opponent gets to fucking set up all of his stuff to play. And then we get to have a card that keeps your 1-cost cards from being destroyed and your 6-cost cards from being destroyed, which makes Shang-Chi kind of just butt cheeks for other, like, it has to be for like Red Skulls and any other like cards. But at that point, it's just like, I got this bitch out. I got Cosmo on her as well. Now I can play a big body on turn 5 or leech your stuff and then play Blob, which will overpower everything that you try to put out. Granted, yes, yeah. The thing is, oh, there's a counter, there's Shadow King, there's this and that. People throw priority with this deck. I don't know if you guys have noticed. And I know everybody's wanting to try to throw priority in this game and stuff like that in order for their shit to go off. But you also have to worry about this guy. If I'm winning already and you're trying to overtake, if you know where I'm going to play the Blob, if you think I'm going to play it over here, I'm just going to Goliath you. It's a problem. We have a problem. The balancing hasn't made any sense. It's, they want to put big boy power, they want to stack power, but then they nerf cards to gain that power. So they nerfed is she a 2-3? Now you got to play at this location. Now you have to play a card at where Elsa Bloodstone is. It's not have 4 and then be able to play a card that has 4 locations. You have to play it on her now. They nerfed Luke Cage to where High Evo has just been everywhere. So it's the same 3 decks that we're seeing on ladder, which is the She-Not. It's Blob. It's like number 1 first of all. Like She-Not, High Evo, Madness is everywhere, and then Black Knight, which I don't have a problem with Black Knight. I'm a Black Knight player. I played Black Knight whenever he was dog shit, and then they finally buffed him, but maybe they buffed him like a little too hard. But pause. Like, I don't know, man. I've been thinking about this. And I've been seeing a lot of other comments from other creators saying that this meta is stale. I thought it was stale whenever Loki came out and was just everywhere and just dominating. Granted, there's always a deck that always happens to be like someone discovers like the deck or whatever to use on meta. And I think that's a problem with a lot of YouTubers making these type of clickbaity deck list things for you guys to like try out, and then you guys go and try it out and some of y'all suck with it, some of y'all are like really good with it, but then we have to see it everywhere. Like, I have to go into Proving Grounds and play against a fucking Thanos deck. If you can't navigate a fucking Thanos deck, like, then you're ass, probably. Like, I have a winning fucking record with the Thanos deck. And it's stupid for how easy the shit does. And, like, how, like, incredibly easy it is. So why do we have to keep playing meta decks? I want to be able to test out an off meta deck, and I have to fucking sit there and deal with it with fucking Improving Grounds and Conquest mode. It's stupid. Just for a fucking silver ticket, man. And like I said, I'm not the only motherfucker that thinks it's meta still. I'm not the only motherfucker that thinks like the meta is ridiculous and trying to call out the developers of when they say certain shit, and then that shit is the exact opposite of what they do. Like I stated before, like, we don't want to lock down, we want to have big bodies, and then they nerf good cards. Like, they nerf cards that didn't need a nerf, and then they released buff, stupid, dumb shit that we gotta fucking deal with. Like the Kingpin, I'm trying to play like Kingpin now, and like, that's whatever, I guess. I don't know. Stuff doesn't get destroyed anymore. Like, we can't destroy it. Arrow got fucking nerfed. If you know, people still think that she's like okay or whatever, but like, she's okay, but she still got, in my opinion, nerfed, where she could have just eventually been like stayed the same, to be honest with you. It's like she went from OP to like no one playing her to being okay. And then Leech, here's my thing. Unpopular opinion, man. I don't have a problem with Leech. Everybody keeps having these fucking crazy ass turn fucking sixes and shit that's able to put down 80 fucking power in one fucking lane, and they want to bitch about fucking Leech. You know what I'm saying? But then forget about like Sauron decks. But no one plays Sauron decks anymore. You don't ever see them on ladder. And I don't care who the fuck you are. You're lying if you're telling me if you're at a higher collection level than I am, and you're playing against fucking Shuri Sauron decks repeatedly, like, record it. But I want to say that you're fucking lying. I know people are gonna bitch about, like, it's a whole Discord about people bitching about Leech. I've been leeched a billion fucking times, dude. And yeah, it sometimes it sucks when you have, like, when the whole time in your hand that you can't play any of your fucking cards to play because you drew a bad hand, but you want to kind of stick it out because you had a lot of other shit games that you had bad draws, and you're just like, you know what, I just want to be able to fucking play this deck. I just want to be able to play. You know, granted, God forbid that you get fucking Weird World, or God forbid you get District X on your fucking games to not let you prevent to play your game. Which is super fucking annoying, by the way. I hate that shit, man. This meta is just like, it's just, I don't know, man. I've been trying to, like I stated, like, I try to be fucking positive when it comes to this game, but the decisions that they make have been questionable. The designs of certain cards have been highly questionable. And it's like, how can they, at this point, how can they fix the monetization? How can they fix certain cards? You know, we have an OTA coming up, and I'm just kind of at a position where I don't know if this is going to be good or not. You know, people talking about Blob, maybe we're going to see a Blob nerf. You know what I'm saying? To not make him like way too insane, but you know, Thanos has been part of the meta for a long time, like for a while. Because last month we had the whole lockdown thing, and that's where we had to nerf, if you want to call it a nerf, really, Professor X. Even though it's a 1/5, you just put him in negative. and then it's insane the shit that it can do, and you can completely lock out a game that way with Professor X and Mystique. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, I'm not complaining about Mr. Negative, because it's really hard to like win with him and get the hand and everything, and that's part of the game, is trying to get the right hand. But god dog, bro, a lot of this shit has not made any fucking sense. It just seems like the Blob Lockjaw meta, which, I mean, the Thanos Lockjaw thing was a thing like back in the day. If you guys didn't play whenever Thanos came out, like, Lockjaw with Quinjet was just unstoppable, yo, because the stones were technically not in your deck, and so with Quinjet they cost 0. So imagine all the stones being played that were 0, and you could play in Lockjaw, and it was only once per turn. Like, they had to add the once per turn, because at one point in time it was just like you could just play everything into Lockjaw and have it flip up, including Leech, which is crazy because Lockjaw, Leech, Thanos is now back with other great, insane cards to use. Granted, I know counters. Not everybody fucking puts in a lot of fucking counters in their shit. It's not that hard to fucking understand. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, we have a right to be able to bitch about certain shit, and not everybody is teching in Valkyries and all this. Not everybody's playing fucking Cerebro 3. Not everybody's just playing a random fucking like Shadow King in their fucking decks. You know, God forbid that you don't have fucking priority or whatever, and then you have to not play for priority. Well, why don't you just play Ghost? Who the fuck uses Ghost? Cards that could have been viable and everything are now just kind of like dog shit compared to what Thanos is. If they didn't nerf some of the cards that they fucking nerfed, I think if they wanted to have an OP fucking meta, they should just give cards back to what it was, man. Like, it's pretty wild currently with this meta. I don't know, man. I've been bitching for 20 minutes. I've been yapping. I would ask you to like subscribe and stuff like that, but dog, I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel, because of like what's the point of me trying to show you guys decks and stuff when the fucking deck to use, when everybody's covering the same shit. That's kind of the problem I'm having with, like, I watch people play the game, I watch people's content and stuff like that, and everybody's just covering the fucking same deck. And it's lame at this point, dude. Like, let's get this world breaker up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been yapping. I haven't even touched any of this shit. I'm keeping my fucking keys. But man, dude, everybody should have the right to complain. Everybody has the fucking right to complain. I know sometimes, like, yeah, if you're gonna tell me there's counters, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. This is happening to me. People should be able to complain. People should be able to fucking be mad at a fucking game they want to succeed in, and they can't because it's a lot of bullshit involved in having to play the same deck. Like, I don't want to play a fighting game where I'm playing against the same fucking character over and over again. We have all these cards and everybody wants to play and cover Thanos or fucking Loki. Drink water. But good lord, man. I said my shit about Loki before. I'm kind of glad they nerfed him in a sense, I guess, but still strong against Thanos. But it's also fucking Loki. Like, bruh. It's just way too insane. And you have to pray to have the counters in your hand, because God forbid, you know, this game doesn't fuck you over with certain draws in the game. Sometimes you get the good shit, sometimes you get the dog shit. That I play fucking Black Knight, so there's times where I get Black Knight on turn 5 and it's not cool and it sucks. Or, you know, or turn 6, like where I needed him, where they already have all their shit just plastered all over the fucking field. It's like, I play a very inconsistent deck at times, and where times when it happens, I get the nuts or whatever, cool, I love it. But there's times where I don't, and it sucks. And it's troubling with a new season pass card that is -2 every time a big boy is on the field, which you can just fucking wave out and do whatever. So we're at an annoying point in the meta where one clear definitive deck is just beastly with not a lot of counters to it, that you just kind of have to pray for it to happen, to have, with another card that prevents your big boys from getting destroyed. That's the insane part to me. That's fucking wild to me. Yeah, you have Rogue and Enchantress and stuff like that, but like I said, this is so good of a card that you're gonna be able to fucking protect this shit. And Cosmo does that. So I would be putting Cosmo and then putting a big boy that doesn't have any other type of a big boy that doesn't have any type of like on reveals or whatever, that you can just put right behind fucking Kyra. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm yapping still, about 25 minutes. How do you guys feel about the meta? Like I said, I've seen comments saying that the meta is real stale, and personally, this meta has been so stale that I haven't really done any other type of like content about it, other than to say that the shit is stale. Like, I put a lot of money into this fucking game. This fucking shit is stale as fuck. Like, when can it be fun? Again, trying to play off meta, you can't have fun in Conquest to playing off meta, because you run into a fucking top meta deck. Like, the top 10 decks are a fucking joke, to be honest with you, compared to what number, like, the actual top decks. It's a real top heavy meta currently. So it is what it is, man. It's boring. It's not fun, you know. So I honestly feel like I should be able to say that. You're not wrong if you think that. And if you don't think it's like stale and you're just saying it, then you're just fucking yapping. I need an actual coherent like reason for why you think it's not stale. Like, I'm open-minded enough to fucking listen, but at this point, dude, if you've been playing it for a few months and you're like, oh, this meta's not stale, like, shut the fuck up, dude. If you're like collection level like 100 or like 1,000, like, dude, just shut the fuck up, please. Like, no one's trying to fucking hear that shit. I'm like, this meta's stupid, dude. But y'all be good, drink water. I'm gonna fucking smoke and chill, and try to play some Proving Grounds, like some other decks for Proving Grounds and stuff like that. And play other builds that I fucking like to play and have fun without having to just play the fucking like a Black Knight deck, because I do play it, and trying to do other different shit. I want to be able to do different shit, and I can't. Though this Jean Grey fucking move deck is pretty fun. I'll show it to you again. I've been playing with this one in Conquest mode. It's actually pretty dope. Pretty cool. Like, I have to make these decks in order to fucking compete. I had to play Loki deck. This is another deck that I've been like using because I love Silver Samurai. I still think it's the funnest card, in my opinion, to use and get rid of like some shit. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you don't get rid of the shit now because either or, man. It's just way too much shit that's stacked in this certain game, man, in this meta. But either way, comment. Don't like it, like it. I don't give a fuck, man. Peace.